So hello guys, welcome back to our channel. So today we are going to see the new question, new problem statement, that is find last occurrence of index for an element using recursion. In our previous video we find the first occurrence of index. Okay, so here our input will be an array. Inside an array we have 8 elements, so and the value of d will be 3. So here we need to find out the value of d inside our array. Okay, so like we have to find the last index of d, so it will be like this one and this one. So here the last one will be 5, so we will return 5. If like we have another element d to 7 which is not inside our array, then it will return, if it will check if the d doesn't exist inside the array, then it will return what? It will return -1. If it is not inside the array, then it will return -1. Okay, so those things mentioned here, right? Return the last occurrence of index for an element, and if it is not found, then return -1. Okay, so here we will implement our functional structure. So it will be like function find last index and then pass array, and then here will be like index and then the d which we need to find out, and body open body close. Here we will call the function that will be like fli array, and initial index will be 0, and what we are looking for to search, like for a indexing, find the index, that will be like 3. Okay, we need to find out the index of 3, so here we will write 3. Okay, and this will be the body of function which we will implement later. Okay, so now we will focus upon our approaches, different approaches, that is in which the first one is high level approach. Okay, inside high level approach the first one is expectation. Before writing our expectation, we will write an array. Okay, so our array will be like 2 3 6 9 8 3 2 and 6. Okay, now we will assign the index for those elements, so it will be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, and the address of this array will be 5k. Okay, and the array dot len, that is length basically. So here for us now we just write length. Okay, array dot length will be 8, and now we will calculate our expectation. What will be our expectation? The expectation will be like, if we are calling find last index, then passing array and initial index will be 0, and here we are passing 3 for finding 3. So it should return what? It should return like, it will find out the index of 3 from 0 to n, right? And it will return either the index which is 5 here and 1 here. So it will find the last one, that will be like 5, so it will return either 5. If it is not inside the array, then it will return -1. Okay, so here we will write it in words like, it will return the last index. Okay, it will return the last index, like last occurrence of index for an element. Okay, from 0 to n. We need to focus on this one. Okay, so here it is looking from 0 to n, and if it doesn't find, then it will return what? It will return -1 if that is not found. Okay, so this will be for our expectation. And what is our assumption? Second will be our assumption. So what is our assumption? Our assumption will be like find last index from array, and here it will find from 1 to n. Okay, and finding 3. So what will it do? It will basically try to find out from 1 to n. Okay, in our smaller part from here to there, like this one. It also return two things, either the last occurrence which will be 5 or -1. It means it doesn't exist inside this array. Okay, so in words we will write here like, it will return the last occurrence of index for an element. Okay, and from 1 to n, we need to focus on it. This will be from 1 to n, and if it is not found, then it return what? It return -1. Okay, and now in our third step we will relate our expectation with our assumption. So what is that? That will be like, here we are calling fli from 1 to n. Okay, and find out p. So it will return either -1, either the last index which will be like 5. Okay, if it is like return the last index, then it will be our answer. Otherwise, because if it is like returning the last index from 1 to n, then it will be like our answer. We don't need to search inside this one. But if it is not find inside this array, the smaller part, then what it will do? It will like compare this one with this one. If the element will be matched, then it will return index. Otherwise, same value which was returning from the smaller array, either the -1 or index will be. Okay, in index, in the case of index, if the smaller array return index, then we don't need to search anything. If it return -1, then in that case we will check from here. Okay, for that it will return either the index one, either -1. Okay, so then only it will like search array of 0 will equal to d. If it is true, then it will return index, that will be 0, either -1. 1. Okay, so now we will implement this concept, this logic inside our program. So for that we will write the low level approach. The second one is low level approach or low level analysis. Inside the first one is logic implementation. Okay, so here we will write the whole program. So that will be like function find last index, then passing array index and d, the element which we need to find out. Okay, and here we are just leaving the space for base case, and the next will be like we have to calculate find last index in smaller array. That will be like li, and here we are passing array, and then it will be smaller one, so it will start from 1. That will be index plus 1, and passing d as well. And now we will check either find last index inside a smaller array equals to what. If this one is equals to minus 1, if we didn't find inside an array, then it will what it will calculate it and check if array of index will be equals to d, then it will return, what will it return? It will return index. Okay, else what it will return? It will return find last index in smaller array. Okay, it will return this one. And if this is like find last index is not equals to 1, then it will go inside the else part, whereas it will return what? It will return find last index in a smaller array. Okay, and here we will close the body of the function and call fli passing array, and initial index will be 0, and here the element is 3. Okay, this is our program. And now we will write our array. So our array will be like 2 3 6 9 8 3 2 6. Okay, we will define the index for each one. So the index will be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, and here the address is 5k, and the length will be like array dot len, which is basically length, so it will be like 8. Okay, so now we are going to create an stack. This is our second step where we are calculating the stack implementation or base case. So here we have to write our base case. Okay, so this will be like our array, here will be an index, and here will be the value of d. Okay, the initial value will be 5k. Okay, and index will be 0, and the value of d will be 3, like here the d equals to 3. Okay, and this one is our first line, and this one is second line, this one is third line, this one is fourth line, this one is fifth line, and this one is sixth. Okay, so the first line will be executed here. Whenever the first line will execute, then it will calculate the find last index in a smaller array. So smaller array will be from here index plus 1, that will be from 1. So it call again fly find last index. So this will be the index will increase, that it will be on 1. So here now index will be 1, and we are looking for 3. So line number 1 again execute, and it will went to here, the index will be increased also. So here 2 and then 3, then line number 1 again execute this one, and this will be went to here. Now the index increases, so now index is 3, and here d is 3. Then again line number 1 executes, and then the index will be increased. Here it will be like index 4, this will be 3, line number 1 again execute, it will be went to here. We are assuming that we are not finding any matching element. Okay, so it will be like 5 and 3, and then again line number 1 execute, and it will go to here, and then it will be like 6 3, and then again line number 1 will execute, it will be on index number 7. So it will be like 5, here index will be 7, and this will be 3. Okay, and again line number 1 executes, here it will be plus 1, so it will be like index will be increased, so it will went to 8. So here 5k, and index will be 8, and this one will be 3. Okay, so one thing which we need to like focus here, index is 8. Okay, currently we are on here, so here we have to calculate if index equals to our length. So it means we didn't find the element, so it will return -1. Okay, so what will it do? It will like return -1. So here it will be wipe out and returning -1. Okay, and so we will here write our the base case, which will be like if index equals to array dot length, then it will return -1. Okay, this will be our base case. Okay, and now here line number 2 will execute. Okay, so line number 2 will execute for index 7. So whenever line number 2 execute, then what will it do? It will check the FLIISA will be 1. So here it will be like FLIIS, which is -1. So it is -1. It is equals to -1. Yes, line number 2 execute, and it is true. So it will go for line number 3rd. So it will again execute line number 3rd. So here in 3rd will check array of index, which is 7. So array of 7 will be 6. Okay, either 6 is equals to what? D, that is 3. Is it true? No, it is not true. So it will execute line number 5. It will went to else part. So it will return Lisa, which is -1. So here onwards it will return -1. Okay, and now the index will be 6. So from here it will return -1 again. Okay, and now the index is 6, and this line will be wiped out. Okay, for index number 6 we will do the same process again. Here line number 2 executes, and it will check either both are same. Lisa is -1. Yeah, that is -1, and so the line number 3 will execute. Okay, and either both the things means array of 6, that is 2 is equals to 3, that is not the true statement, so it will skip line number 4 and execute line number 5, that is returning -1 Fleeza again, so that will be -1. Okay, so it will return -1, and then again check Fleeza, means line number 2 execute here and it will return true, so line number 3 will be executed next time. So whenever line number 3 executes, it will check like array of 5, that is 3 equals to D, yeah, that is true. And now the line number 4 will execute and it will return what? It will return index, that is 5. So here it will return index, right? And again it will be wipe out, and again for index number 4 will execute for line number 2, that will be here. It will again compare, and now the condition will be false, like the Fleeza, now the Fleeza is 5, okay, and line number 2 the Fleeza is 5, okay, so condition false, so it will skip all these steps 3 4 5, it will skip, and it only returns a Fleeza, that will be like line number 6 will execute and return what? Return Fleeza, that is 5, okay, so it will 5 return 5. Now it is not going to compare the values here onwards, okay, so till here it checks like it compare, but now onwards I think that is not needed to compare. So here it will be wipe out, and then the second line will execute for index 3. So for index 3 second line will be executed and the condition will be false, like a Fleeza is 5 is not equals to -1, so it will be false. It will be skip all these steps and execute the last one 6 1. So here it will return again 5, okay, so it will return 5, and then again it will wipe out and line number 2 will execute for index 2, okay, and then line number 2 checks and it returns false, so the else statement will be executed, which will be in line number 6, and it will return 5, okay, and this line will be wipe out, it will return 5. And for like index number 1, again run line number 2, which will return false, so it will execute the else part. So here line number 6 will execute and return Fleeza, that will be like 5, okay, so it will return 5 for index 0. So now we are going to wipe out the first one and the 0 one, which is index 0. For index 0 it will again check line number 2, the Fleeza is equals to -1, that is not, so it will again execute line number 6, which is returning 5, so it will return 5. So this will be our answer, it will be wipe out. So here we can see that we find our final answer, that is 5, okay. So now we are going to implement our program inside VS Code, and we will see that how can we make a program and execute it. So we will implement in VS Code. So let's see, we can see that we took an array. Inside an array we have the same element which we implemented in our example. So here the value of D is 3, we need to find out D, okay, and here is our function, the find last index, and now we are passing array index and the value of D, okay, and here will be the body of our function, and now here calling the function find the last index, and here is this is an array, and this is our initial index, which will be like 0, okay, and the value of D, which is 3, okay, and we store inside an variable and we print that variable. So here inside our body we will implement the logic. First we will implement the base case. Inside the base case, if index equals to array dot length, okay, array dot length, if both are same, then what should it return? It should return -1, okay, it should return -1. Else we have to calculate find last index inside smaller array, that will be like find last index, and now we are going to pass array, and this time index will be increased because we are trying to find from 1 to n, okay, and here will be D, and then we will check the condition. If Fliisa equals to -1, if both are equal, then it should return what? If both are equal, then the further process will execute. Otherwise, if both are not equal, then we will execute the else part. Inside else part we will return Fliisa, okay, we don't need to do anything, we just return the Fleeza. So if both are equal, then at that point of time we have to like compare one more thing, which will be like array of index equals to what? Equals to D. If both are same, then it will return what? Return the index. Otherwise, else it will return what? Fleeza, okay, that is our whole program, okay. So now we are going to test it. So here we have to write the function here, that is this one, and we are going to execute it. So we will execute our program. Now we can see that the index of 3, the last index of 3 is 5, so it returns 5, okay. If we change our like input, we change the value of D, that will be now 6. So for a 6 it will return index 7, okay, now it is 7. If we are looking for a 7 which is not inside our array, so it should return what? It should return -1, so that is -1, okay. So for all the conditions our program is satisfied. So this is our program. I will share the link of this program inside our description. You can download with the link, and that's it for this video. We will meet you again in next video. Till then, take care and bye.